Oh, this video is so hard to do. It triggered me so much, but that's a part of inner work. Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Erin Severe, and today we're going to talk about, you saw the title, do you know that you're being gaslit? Or did you? Anyway, I have 10 signs that will indicate if you're being gaslit in your relationship with your spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever, or even your family members or friends. So we're just going to jump right into it. And I'm going to go with the first one, which is confusion. So I noticed that when the gaslighter is trying to gaslight you, that causes confusion to the point that you start self-doubting your own self. And in my relationship that I'm now no longer in, it I realized that he definitely made me doubt myself so much that I stopped trusting my own intuition. Like it was bad. So if you are dealing with a family member, friend, a significant other that's causing confusion, when anytime you try to address them and start making you self-doubt your own reality, it's time to go. Number two, feeling isolated. So this can go so many different ways, but in a sense of, for example, not even for example, what I went through. um, my significant other, it got to the point where, and I noticed that maybe it was because of what had happened to him in his past relationships and even relationships with his family. He had no problem just cutting people off. Whereas me, especially with family, I'm very family oriented. And so I started realizing that, like, it got to the point, I mean, this was my spouse. So he was who I confided in. So when he's telling me, well, forget them, don't even worry about them, you don't need them, blah, 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 it was like eventually I started turning from them into him, which got to the point where when it was time for me to reach out when I was feeling something or going through something, it was hard because I had started isolating myself and involving myself into this relationship. If you feel like that, one, I guarantee you there's probably a lot of people who are dealing with this. You are not alone, but you need to start reevaluating, self reevaluating, because your partner should not isolate you at all. At all. Number three, walking on eggshells. So if you feel that you have to walk on eggshells around your partner because you don't want to trigger an argument or go down that rabbit hole, you are literally just shutting yourself down, not being able to speak your truth, which will domino effect into so many different things. And believe me, like, I get it. I had to walk on eggshells a lot when it came to my spouse, well, soon to be ex spouse. But it was hard because it got to the point where and it was like I had to pick and choose battles that I just didn't feel like dealing with his anger. So, but at the same time, I ended up losing this person. Don't be like me, okay? Please don't. Don't be like me. Four. Negative self-talk. And I'm sure you've probably done it a lot if you feel that you are going through these gaslighting moments with your significant other. But stop putting yourself down. You are beautiful, you are unique, you are the way God created you. Putting your own self down just means that you're just at a point where you're just disappointed with things. And even they'll make you feel that way. So you'll just be like, yeah, you know what? That I did that. Yeah, that's my fault. Yeah. Please don't. Stop putting yourself down. Please don't, thank you. Stop putting yourself down. This topic alone kind of makes me, I want to say emotional. I've gotten past that. But I didn't know that I was being gaslit. I was in a relationship for 7 years. Did not know the signs. It took me a long time to realize that. And once I realized that, it got it got to me really bad. Um, Number 5, you try to convince yourself that their behavior isn't really that bad. So, in this regards, I was making excuses. And I didn't even realize that I was making excuses until one of my best friends called me out and literally was like, "No, why do you need to explain? Like, why do you need to explain for this? It was wrong." And I was like, you know what? You're right. I don't know why. I felt like I needed to protect him and keep him safe. So I would excuse certain things that he would do. Was not cool at all. Gosh, I was so messed up. Anyway, number 6, shifting the blame on you. So, um, if you're in dealing with a situation and all of a sudden you know for a fact that you read what you read, you saw what you saw, or whatever the situation may be, and all of a sudden, instead of them taking the accountability and saying, okay, yeah, I did that, they blame you for why they did that to you. I dealt with that. I am a person that really, like, I have a lot of patience. A lot of patience. I'm a Capricorn sign and a Taurus rising. And it takes a lot to get me to that point. But when you get me to that point, it goes off. And every single time I would address that with them, they will always make me seem like I'm the one that had the attitude. I'm the one that's being the bad guy. When I react to what you're doing. So you give me that energy, I'm gonna give it right back. It might take me a minute to get there because I want to justify, make sure that I don't say anything out of character or that I might regret. But I don't just wake up on the wrong side of the bed ready to have an attitude with anybody. So if you feel that you're in a relationship and every single time you react to something and they blame you for why this is happening, that's definitely a sign you're being gaslit. And they won't take no accountability for it at all. On to number 7, words versus action. So most gaslighters, they kind of use words to basically get you to keep you where they want you. And I dealt with that. I'm the type of person I like to see action. But the person that I was with, they were kind of like, if I'm telling you that's what I mean, which is not. It's not. Get that. It's not. If they're telling you one thing and their actions are showing up differently, their actions are speaking louder. That's what you need to go through. That's what you need to pay attention to. Do not listen to those words. They're just words. You'll know if they truly mean something. But if their actions are completely opposite, it's time to go. Just saying. Took me a long time to learn that. Number 8, denial, denial, denial. This one right here hits home a lot because there were things that were said, there were things that were done that I know for damn sure I was not tripping. I'm just saying, okay? I was not tripping. But yet, it would be, I never said that. I didn't say that. Where's the proof? Ooh, I'm telling you right now, if you are dealing with, if you are dealing with that, it's time to self-reflect. It took me a while to realize that was happening. I'm gonna keep saying this because, again, I was in a relationship for 7 years dealing with this, not realizing this is not love. That is not love. If you are sitting here second guessing yourself, doubting yourself, they keep shifting the blame on you. You are sitting here every time you come up with something and they keep denying the fact, or they want you to show them proof of something. It's time to let them go. It's time to let them go. 9, projecting. They start to project their own flaws onto you, their own bad behaviors, knowing that they got some stuff to work on. Knowing. Just pay attention. That's all I could say. I didn't understand the concept of someone projecting their issues and their insecurities onto me until I actually took a step back and started working on my own self. I was happy with who I was, and that's when I realized this man keep projecting all his issues onto me. Please, please, just let them know, hey, this is it. I'm done. All right. Last but not least, questionable sense of humor. So this can be very tricky. What I mean by questionable sense of humor is, for instance, my husband, he's very, very sarcastic. And at first, you have those friends who are witty and quick and you're so funny. But in this instance, his sarcasm, is that a word? I don't know. He was so sarcastic that it made, like, I would be out with friends, we'd be out with friends, family, but it would come off very rude and disrespectful. And he would have very dark, condescending humor. So you'd be like, oh, was I supposed to laugh? Was that funny? Was that a joke? Because you wouldn't know. You wouldn't even know. For the same, not only that, like my my spouse was very disconnected from his own emotions. So when it came to sense of humor, that was his way of coping. So when he was being sarcastic, it was all like, it was very condescending. So you don't know if they're joking with you or if they're poking at you. And I got that a lot. I would be out in public around strangers, around family, around friends, be embarrassed because people would be like, was he joking? Was that a joke? I don't know. Because at this point, he does it so much with me, I don't know whether to take it as a joke or not either. But I'm just saying, there's a difference between having a good sense of humor and being witty, and then there's a difference when they're sarcastic and condescending. It's a very fine line, so you gotta really weave it out. But if they say something to you to the point where you question if that was a joke or not, or were they taking a jab at you, then it was probably it was very sarcastic, questionable remark to you. I hope that these 10 these 10 signs helped you at least somewhat. I am still doing inner work on working on myself and forgiving that person, because being with someone for that long and dealing with that, it definitely takes a toll on you, because you start realizing, oh my gosh, they were they were doing this, they said that, they were being so disrespectful to me or to my friends, to my family. But please pay attention. There are different sayings, there are different sentences, anything of how somebody is gaslighting you. Just be aware. Be aware of what somebody says to you, your spouse, your friends. You'll know. You'll know. If it doesn't sit right with you, if it doesn't sit right with you in your gut, then it probably wasn't right. Please trust yourself, start loving yourself, and get away from that person if it is getting to the point that is very uncomfortable. Don't let yourself be in an uncomfortable situation with someone. Please don't. I did, and I'm healing from it, but it's taken a while. It takes time. I hope you enjoyed the tips that I gave you, and I thank you for coming to my channel. Bye.